looking to be able to sell the suits retail for around $325 to $350 until you run out of air, and then you got to learn to reverse pack.
Cool.
That's a long way to go. Yeah, but it's very easy. It's very, very simple. I think I did my first class maybe 4 years ago, and I hit 72 feet my first class. Then I did around 90, but I didn't want to go past that because I wasn't sure. There's a bunch of different squeezes you can get. And then this past February, I took the level 2 FII class, and I got my static up to 5 minutes, so I can do a 5-minute static. And so he's doing that right now. He's testing it all out. I got the emails. I was just talking to him last night. So he's setting that up, and then he's also a captain of a boat. He lives here 6 months, charters up there 6 months. So hopefully, eventually, we're going to be able to offer a trip to Alaska with this guy who's been doing it all for us. So Alaska's definitely doable.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. So if you look at the overall size of it, much smaller, right? Much better, much easier to maneuver, right? So 60, super small, super easy. Weight is nowhere even near the same, okay? But when you actually measure the band stretch, okay, so what you do is you take muzzle to muzzle, actual band pull. If you look at where the tabs are, okay, so the first band on the Pathos is still right there. It's further back than the Rob Allen's tab, right? The second holes are in the same exact spot. So that means in a super small gun with less overhang, you get same power, tiny little bit more because it's further than a Rob Allen 70. So this gun is more powerful than the Rob Allen 70, right? Easy to maneuver, super easy to use on there, okay? Super lightweight, much better. The 75, still overall shaft length, still less than a Rob Allen 70. This is the 75. If you look at the band stretch, same thing, right? The resting tab, the one that you can't pull it back all the way on the first try, the resting tab is further than the first notch. Here's the first tab, here's the second tab. Still a smaller gun, okay? Way more powerful than the Rob Allen 70. If we want to get into the big guns, right, so 82 to 90s is what I use when I go after verms, right, so vermilion rockfish, this is what I usually use. It's not even fun if we want to actually start measuring the actual band pull. The resting tab, if you only use one band on this sometimes, right, you only put one band on hole hunting, one band on here is going to be more powerful than the Rob Allen still. The two bands, if you look at overall length, exactly the same with the shaft overhang, okay, so you can basically use something that has way more power and can be way more maneuverable, especially if you're looking at the 60s and 75s. Much easier to use, much lighter. The other things, like I said, is you get the stainless steel trigger. Okay, this is going to be a plastic trigger. The only downsides that are on the Pathos that people do complain about is that you're going to have to wrap it on the left-hand side, right? So you wrap left over right, and it's a small line release, okay? This is designed, the reason why is because you have this. These right here keep the lines off of the shaft itself, right? So lines on a bigger gun especially can affect velocity of the shaft and can affect accuracy. This is why it's built, keeps the lines right off of there, small wrap, shaft gets tucked here, okay? So this is important when you're swimming up, and if you ever had your gun down here and it catches on the kelp and you're pulling on the bull kelp, right?
All the time.
This right here, it's gone, right? Never have a problem with it. You're going to grab this here like this, and all you're going to do in one motion, you're not going to take your time with it. In one motion, you're going to just lean over it, and you're just going to pull it in. Boom. Okay? Can it affect accuracy? Yes.
You don't feel that good.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that good. You're absolutely right. So the shaft is going to be smaller. It's going to be a 6.75 shaft versus a 7.00 shaft on the carbons. The recoil is going to be way less. You're going to be much more accurate. I wouldn't take a shot over 4 meters with an aluminum. Okay? With a carbon, though, I would be comfortable taking a 15-foot shot. Okay? You have bigger bands. We try to downsize the bands to make it more comfortable with the aluminum. You're just not going to get as much power. There's going to be more flex, and like you said, the recoil is going to be much stronger on your hand. Okay. Same thing for these, though. Same loading style. If you want to see what a big gun feels like. Okay, so this is the 130. Yeah, this is what I would go with if I was going to do a boat trip purely. If I was doing pure boat trips down south, I'd go with the 130. Okay, so this is the size of it. This is what it feels like if you want to feel the weight of it without the bands. I just don't have the shaft locked in there. Fine cuttlefish, and like I said, if you're out there hunting, the way you're going to want to hold your gun is you're going to want to hold like this when you're diving down, or you're going to want to hold it right here, right? You keep yourself aligned, your nice big kicks, your equalizer all the way down. Once you get down in the water, you're going to either want to hold the gun here, nice and close to your body, right? So let's say I'm here, I see that hamachi over there, boom, I'm going to turn, and I'm going to twist, and I'm going to pop out, and then boom, take my shot, right? The last thing I want to do is have that gun way out there and be able to do it.
Upside down.
Here?
Yeah, upside down.
Right? Because you can, from this position, I can rotate any which way. From here, it's not angled. See this here? Here, automatically twists right into my hand, right? If I'm here, I'm not holding it, and my thumb can accidentally hit the trigger, right? Because you want to keep it nice and tight into your body. So here, all it is a quick twist as I'm going out, and it goes right into the position, right? My index finger, okay, is index, it's not anywhere near my trigger. Here, I got all kinds of things that could be carved in my trigger. Can you do it like this? Yes. Would I recommend it? Absolutely not. Okay, here, boom, twist and it goes out. It's very fast once you practice it. It's something you're going to have to get used to, right? So here, can you hold the tip of that for me there? You can connect a bungee through this, okay? So what the bungee does, especially soft fish or fish that are super hard fighters and you don't want to lose a shaft every time, because fish will bend a shaft very, very easily. Okay, a big fish will bend it in a heartbeat. So what you do is you put a 6 or a 10-foot bungee on the very end of your shooting line. Okay, so this is all 1,600 pound, right? 1,600 pound test here, 1,600 pound test here. Mono and cable usually snaps at 600 pounds anyways. That's what Maury tested it at. Okay, he's a legendary gun builder. Yeah, so there's that. This is 1,600 pound. You take this, and now you connect this to your float line, which connects to either a soft float or like a hard float to slow it down, or one of these kind of floats, which is like a 1 ATM, good for usually around 33 feet, can be fully submerged, okay? So what you do is you're out there, you see the fish of your dreams, boom, you shoot that fish. When that fish is shot, what this does is this thing that we built with the 3D printer and our own breakaway, no matter what the float does behind you, right? Because float lines do all kinds of crazy stuff up in the air. They pull it off. This here, no matter what you do, you can see that thing's not coming off your line release. Okay, so you shoot the fish. This allows it not to break away, allows the fish to run, and it doesn't pull the shaft very hard. That way, when this happens, so let's say I pull the trigger, right? So if I pull the trigger, okay, all this comes off, shaft comes off. Keep pulling the shaft for me. Okay, so it keeps coming, keeps coming, keeps coming. It comes off, right? This dislodges. Now all I do is I don't lose my gun. I tuck my gun underneath my arm. I hold it here, and all I do is I swim up and I grab my float line. So now I have kept my $500 gun in my hands, whatever it is you have. Okay? And I'm using the float line to fight the fish. I'm using all my equipment that I have built that's going to withstand it, and this doesn't get dragged along, right? Because all things are the same, okay? So what I have here is what pretty much so these are what I consider the 3 best blades out here right now, okay? The Bluetex, Subcraft, and Spear Pro. These two especially have been tested in Europe and over here. Very, very good. These are newer. I've been testing them, but I think they're also very, very good. These are what most people see is the leader fins, kind of entry-level carbons. They're the cheaper ones. These are the ones that Mako carries. So if you want to kind of tell the differences, is all you have to do is you have to come up to here and you can automatically feel it. I'm not comfortable going much further than that with it. Okay, and then the snap on it just feels a little bit different, right? And so what you want to do whenever you're going to buy a carbon fin, you want to make a difference. You want to make sure you can feel the carbon, and you want to see how the reactivity is on it, right? So it's supposed to be softer at the top, harder down towards the bottom, okay? So that's a carbon fin. That's the Mako pure carbon that they sell. That's the same exact fin. This is a fiberglass. You're going to tell immediately how much stiffer it is. Now then, this one is also a very good blade. This one's a little stiffer. I usually recommend a 1.2 for you guys. This is a 1.3, but you can see I'm comfortable bringing it all the way over there, right? Carbon blade, good reactivity, good snapback, very soft at the tip, okay? And then it gets stiffer as it goes down. Okay, and then if you feel that one, So this is one of my favorites. This is what I'm wearing right now. Okay, same thing. Take it all the way down. Okay, bend it all the way down, right? These are normally like $369 blades, and not your guys' price, but that's what I charge for them normally, okay? $369, and I'm totally comfortable bending them all the way over, okay? Still got great snap on them. And then when you feel them here as the water channels, it has the blades that come up, and then when you feel how soft it is up there, huge difference. Much different, yeah? These are also a good blade, a little stiffer, good for deep diving. These were my old blades. I wore these for about a year, and you can tell I shore dove with them. I did everything with them. Still super strong, still great flexibility, super, super light too as well. All those that I use personally. So when I recommend a blade, I'm pretty comfortable recommending it.